Teaching 42. 1. I come to remove the obstacles from your path which might disturb your work in my fields, for you are the ones elected to fulfill that mission. You should make known the truth of my teaching to humanity. Be strong, for I have noticed that you lack faith, that you allow yourselves to be overcome by discouragement, and that you do not arise with strength from your falls. You once again doubt as you did in the second era, and in order to believe, you ask me for material proofs, which I shall not give to you. Do not imitate the scribes and priests who, having the scriptures in their hands, thought that my arrival among humanity in the second era would occur in a certain form, and on seeing that I was fulfilling my mission in a manner that was different from what they expected, they doubted. The miracles they requested were not granted to them, since I had already outlined the path that I would follow, and all was fulfilled according to what was written for eternity. 2. You doubt because your hearts are not prepared. You are not aware of my prophecies, and very few have analyzed and understood my revelations in all their truth. But though your hearts were not aware of it, your spirits sensed that I was to come among you once more. And today, my word like a fine chisel is molding you and proving the truth of my manifestation. Truly I say to you that you should not attempt to test your Father. Pray and enter into deep meditation, since it is now time for you to return to me and to become reunited with your Creator. 3. Be aware that if you have wept on earth, I am not the one who has caused that suffering. I have not rejoiced in your suffering, nor have I been indifferent to your pain. I have only wanted to prepare and to elevate your spirits. I have always loved and forgiven you. 4. Penetrate into the essence of my word and discover all that I want to reveal to you through these illiterate spokesmen. Although you should not yearn to hear me only through them, I have taught you the perfect prayer in order for you to communicate spirit to spirit with your Father. This will allow you to speak to me in the language which belongs to the Spirit and receive to my wise and loving answers. 5. Why do you carelessly overlook my spiritual doctrine and ignore the voice of a conscience which is speaking to you? Why do you only believe human words and judgments, thus allowing your spirit to wilt like the flowers under a hot sun without water? 6. Children will communicate with me. They will receive my messages and will surprise you with their advancement. They will teach you my doctrine of love, and they will have strong beliefs. But do not feel humiliated by that. If in the midst of your homes you observe that they offer signs of spirituality, guide their steps. Allow them to rejoice and feel ecstatic as they spiritually perceive the elevated regions where the virtuous beings live. And while they are in that ecstasy, they will feel that they are close to me and will forget their sufferings. 7. Do you not see the patience as well as the anguish in your Father as he observes the slow awakening of his children? My charity guides you to achieve peace. The ordeals that humanity is enduring are making you become aware of a narrow path that man will have to follow in order to reach me. Everyone will have to follow that path to reunite with the Creator. 8. You will find among you laborers who love humanity and who struggle to enlighten mankind. Today, they come filled with faith to offer me the fruit of their labor. There you will find the innocent child who has heard my teaching, who has done his share of the work, and who today presents me the first fruits of his spiritual harvest. His prayer is a request for his brothers to attain peace, for him to be happy. It is not enough that his nation finds itself at peace. He hears the cries of human beings which he does not know but is aware of their suffering. His spirit is deeply touched, and he prays for his brethren. Then I tell him, peace will come when the trial has left its seed in the hearts of those who suffer today, and when the pain has purifying their spirits. 9. Be aware that while you are listening to my word during these joyful moments in which you elevate yourself spiritually to be closer to me, many of your brothers are dying in battlefields, that many mothers have seen their sons depart, and their hearts are filled with pain. that many young children are weeping because they have been abandoned by their parents, and that everyone is struggling in their pain. I say to you that you are unaware of the period in which you live. For this is a time of restitution and hard ordeals. You, as my disciples, feel the need to pray so that peace and comfort may descend upon your brothers. And I ask you if you have known how to take advantage of the peace that I have granted you. 10. Why do parents weep, feeling that their family is a heavy cross which they bear on their shoulders? And having me so close, why are others spiritually ill? It is because they lack faith and trust in me and have not regenerated themselves. 11. You people of Israel, do not sin, but rather help sinners to attain salvation and enlighten those who have become confused. If you want to keep your peace, work on their behalf, honor your parents, and perceive everyone as your brother. Love one another. 12. Every time you come close to me, you feel that my love strengthens your spirit and physical body. You also know that when you move away, you no longer feel peace and your spirit begins to suffer. Your conscience always truly tells you if you are on the path of the law or if you have departed from it. I am the law, and I always inspire you to fulfill it. 13. When you stubbornly pursue the enjoyment of forbidden pleasures, I permit you to learn through personal experience that those pleasures always offers you pain. You become disillusioned after having stumbled, and you return to me, asking that the pain be a part of your restitution. 14. Learn in order to prepare those individuals who are anxious to know my word, and you will be able to speak without fear. If there is any trace of selfishness in your heart, you will not be able to offer anything to your brethren. Be aware of the love and charity with which I speak to all of my children, and offer that same love to your brothers. 15. The time approaches in which I will send you throughout territories and nations to enlighten your brethren. You should prepare yourselves by studying and analyzing my doctrine in order to offer testimony of its truth through your deeds of love and charity. I do not want you to later regret the time which you lost by not having taken advantage of my teaching, for there will be great ordeals. Many will regret not having heard me or believing in my teachings, and some will be dwelling in the spiritual valley by 1950. 16. Some of my children weep on hearing my word. May those tears serve to cleanse those who have become stained. 17. You who are listening to me need to fulfill my will as you did in the first and second eras. For you are the same spirits which have been evolving throughout the eras. When you have reached the end of your restitution, you will come to me and not return to incarnate on earth. I have told you many times that if I had incarnated in this era to give you my word as I did in the second era, I would have been crucified once more. That lesson has passed, and today I come to give you the lesson which corresponds to this time. Be aware that the form in which I manifest myself through human spokesmen to communicate with you offers you more proof of my love for you. These individuals who serve me carry a heavy cross, and they will suffer for having followed me. They will be rejected and ridiculed, but I will welcome their spirits, and later, when they have finished their mission, I will give them rest and peace. 18. Today, you ask me to fulfill your superficial needs and tell you, ask more on behalf of your spirits, for all other things will be given to you additionally. 19. Be aware that you are only passengers on earth, and that on your long journey you have harvested pain and have met with sin. And after you have fallen, and not finding a charitable hand to help you arise, you have recalled that there is a kind Father in the beyond who is willing to give you all that you need. In him you can find a cure for your illnesses, not only those which cause your bodies to be ill, but those which affect your spirit, which are like a painful weight that overwhelms you. 20. O beloved children, although you have not wanted to elevate your spirits and have not allowed them the necessary time to meditate and fulfill their duties, Be aware of the many gifts that you possess. You possess all that you need to reach the top of the mountain where your Father awaits you to give you your reward. All of you are enlightened and prepared to know the revelations of this time. If you spiritualize yourselves, not only can you work on earth, but I will permit you to transport yourselves to other regions where your brothers live. And there, as good laborers, you will also sow the seed of love and charity which your Father has entrusted to you. 21. Do not be satisfied with the first lesson that you have received. Continue forward, seek my word, and know its essence so that you can speak with certainty to your brothers. Do not fear the judgment or the ridicule of mankind. Could they persecute you if there is purity in your heart and righteousness in your deeds? 22. I rejoice welcoming those who are innocent and righteous and who come to solicit my help. They seek me as the doctor of doctors. But I also am pleased to observe that you forget your sorrows in order to present me to your needy brothers, to those whom you have converted with my teaching. I bless those who have alleviated the suffering of their brethren and have given them strength so that they will fulfill my commandment, which tells you to love one another. 23. I have observed how some of my children distrust me, not allowing their spirits to develop their gifts. And when it has been necessary for them to speak to humanity about my doctrine, they have become silent, not remembering that I have said that I will speak through all those who are prepared, and that if no one is prepared, I will speak through the elements of nature. 24. I ask my children who wander on the earth without knowing their elevated destiny, when do you intend to fulfill your mission? If you sleep today, you will awaken tomorrow in the beyond, and will weep over the time that you have wasted. You will ask me to let you return to the earth, but then your restitution will be very painful. 25. When you hear the divine master warning you and you judge your deeds according to your conscience, you discover that the seed which I have given to you has not multiplied. I ask you, how are you going to prepare the new disciples who will come seeking this heritage if you fail to offer testimony of this doctrine with your deeds? 26. On the first day of the year of 1939, one announced to you that war was soon to come. You felt the destruction and the chaos that was occurring in many nations. You have seen war after war go by, and you still are not aware of the time in which you are living. In future years you will see great disagreement and conflict among nations. 27. Strong nations will confront one another, and in that battle many will lose their power and will surrender. In the meantime, many human beings will die and their spirits will enter the spiritual valley in a state of confusion and pain due to a lack of spiritual preparation. But on their way they will find Elijah pointing out to them the path of their restitution. 28. Today, I announce to you that the time is approaching in which great spirits will come to the earth to work for the peace and elevation of humanity. Prepare the path for those generations. 29. Blessed are those who hearing my word have believed in this doctrine. But I also tell you, blessed are those who believe without having heard me, who carry a temple in their hearts, and who love and pray for their brothers. Their faith is like a burning flame which illuminates the path of their restitution, for they will be able to perceive my presence with their faith. 30. Today, you come to this fountain of grace in order to quench your thirst, and you recall my words in which I said, he who drinks of this water will not thirst again. Your thirst in this time is for light, truth, and peace. You know only pain and falsehood, and you seek the healing balsam which will heal your wounds and revive your hope. I am here welcoming you and offering you comfort. You impatiently await the days when I give you my word, and each of you says to me, Father, my spirit only finds rest during these moments listening to your word. While I listen to you, I forget those things that pertain to the world, and I feel the peace of your spirit embracing my entire being. 31. Blessed are those who have recognized that this is the time of grace in which my teachings guide you and help you in your restitution. If you know how to listen to me and follow my laws, there will be no human power capable of hurting you, and you will feel caressed and guided by the Father. 32. If you have not sought me before, today you know that the hour of your spiritual awakening has been set, and that I awaited your arrival to offer you your heritage. Now that you have received my benefits, you are highly grateful and you are requesting to become one of my workers. I approve your request because I had sent you to earth to become familiar with my doctrine and to extend it among humanity. But in order to attain the spiritual knowledge and develop the spiritual gifts with which you are blessed, you will first have to struggle against your materialism, your weaknesses, and your sins. Then when you feel that you have become prepared and have been purifying with your restitution, offer your love to your brethren like a jewel of infinite value. 33. You have not come to earth to offer tribute to the world, for you have a much more elevated mission. As disciples of your Father, your mission awaits you. After you have battled to establish my doctrine on earth and you are physically exhausted having traveled that long path, I want you to come to me. Do not be afraid to arrive naked, without clothing, and without provisions. For if you gave all of your belongings to your brothers, I will return to you that which you gave them. I will endow you with my divine grace because of the love and charity you offered your brethren. 34. A great battle awaits you, but your spirit will not become weary fulfilling its mission, for you will be helped by the Good Shepherd and by your spiritual brethren. If you love me, if you have faith, the task will be easy. I will triumph over the disbelief of those spirits that are stubborn, and they will listen to you. However, there will be some beings who will not become familiar with this doctrine during their present incarnation on earth. I had already told you that not all human beings who presently live on earth will become familiar with these teachings from the third era. Many will have to go to the spiritual valley, and from there they will perceive this work of love and will believe. Those who witnessed my manifestation in this era but were unable to comprehend my word nor my divine will work after they depart from earth and fulfill their mission. 35. Even when my lesson is clear, not all of you have analyzed or understood it. You have not nourished yourselves with this fruit which I have offered you in this era. I have told you that every tree is recognized by its fruit. The flavor of my word is sweet and its essence gives life to the spirit, but you have not wanted to recognize its truth. 36. You have been similar to small fragile vessels in the midst of a raging sea and have allowed your faith to be extinguished many times. Although you know that I am with you, you do not feel me, even though many times I have told you that your lashes are further from your eyes than my spirit is from your spirit. 37. Be alert because the wolf, disguised as a lamb, is always trying to tempt you. When you are finally ready to share this divine love and charity with your brothers, temptation approaches us and causes you to change what you wanted to do. 38. If you find that your brothers who follow a different doctrine point out your errors and teach you, be humble and hear their words. For my inspiration descends to everyone who prepares himself, and you do not know if it is my will to use them to correct you. I have chosen my disciples from all classes. There are those who lived in poverty and begged in order to nourish themselves. Also, there were others who have lived a life of wealth and comfort. I have summoned these wealthy individuals, but not understanding the treasure that I have come to offer them, they feel ashamed to join this multitude. 39. I forgive your sins, even when you are unaware that you have sinned. And I always show you the path through which you can reach me. Can the child present himself to the Father with a stained spirit, not having practiced virtuous deeds? His conscience will tell him that only after he has fulfilled his mission will he be able to return to me. 40. Understand that each moment that passes reduces the time in which I will give you my word. Become aware of its importance so that tomorrow you will not weep for failing to take advantage of my teaching. 41. Meditate on the fact that you must fulfill the mission of giving the good news to your brothers, just as there was someone on your path who shared the good news with you. Who can forget the one who spoke to you of my word and led you to my presence? Do you not want someone to remember you with tenderness and gratitude? 42. Persevere in goodness. Allow your heart to be purifying by practicing virtuous deeds, and you will see the development of your spiritual gifts. Do not turn back, for you will feel as if you have lost those gifts. 43. The time has come for you not only to ask, but to know how to ask so that you will not say, Father, I have greatly pleaded, but you have not granted my request. 44. Do not forget that I have much more to give you than what you request, and that while you are asking the Father to give to you, I am asking you to know how to receive. 45. Be one of my good disciples who will embrace their mission with true love and faith. If yesterday you walked along uncertain and forbidden paths, today you must walk along the path of my law. If yesterday in your confusion you lifted your hand to hurt your fellow man, now you should use that hand to tenderly caress your brethren. If yesterday you sowed the seed of hatred and of ill will along your path, today you should be sowing the seed of peace and brotherhood along that path. 46. Truly I say to you, whoever remembers your deeds of yesterday and sees you now transformed into my disciple will have to recognize that there is truth in the essence of your faith. Then you will not have to speak much to convince those who you try to teach, for your deeds will be the best testimony you give to your brothers. 47. To mothers I say, teach you children how to take their first steps physically as well as spiritually so that they will be able to find me, love me, and elevate themselves. Be aware that each new generation which emerges among you will attain greater and greater spiritual progress. Use intuition to guide them, and do not give them bad examples or bad fruit to eat. 48. I do not want those new generations to stumble or separate from my path because of you. I do not want to observe them weeping due to a lack of love among their brothers. 49. Today, as I observe that your spirits are humble, I come to give you my new mandates. In past times, all of you dreamed of power, wealth, worldly glory, and pleasures, and it was then that you shouted against Jesus, "Crucify him." You did that because Christ came to preach humility and to teach man to renounce all things that are insignificant. Today, you are satisfied with a little peace, a loaf of bread, and a secure roof over your heads. Life with its lessons has made you humble, and with that your spirit has attained freedom. 50. As long as man possesses the temporary peace offered by the world and believes he possesses everything, he will not approach me. But when humanity attains true spirituality, it will possess everything, and its joy and delight will be profound and real, similarly to how the Father rejoices and takes pleasure in all things that he has created. 51. O people of Israel, my charity observes you and judges your deeds. All beings are being judged by my divine judgment, and no one will escape it. 52. I have only wanted peace and well-being for my children, but they have sought pain and purification. My law does not permit imperfection, therefore, everyone who has become stained must be cleansed, and everyone who has separated from the path must return to it. From this nation you are observing that other cities are being destroyed by misery and hardship, yet you remain insensitive to the suffering of others. Also, you do not appreciate the peace you enjoy, or do you recognize the privileges which I have granted to you? You refuse to accept my divine will. Thus, you consider your trials to be unjust, and you turn against me. I am waiting for you to depart from earth so that you yourselves can judge your lives. Then you will become an unyielding judge of your spirit, and you will realize that the Divine Father always offers you his forgiveness, blessings, and love. 53. You have become weary due to your constant disobedience, and that is why you are weeping. You have been asleep for a long time, and your awakening will be bitter. I have promised humanity to send an army of 144,000 beings who will be scattered throughout the world. Humanity is awaiting them because it knows that each one of them is a spokesman and an interpreter of my mandates. 54. The entire earth will be greatly tested and shaken, and every nation, institution, and household will be fully judged. Once that occurs and humanity has cleansed every stain, you will go prepared in my name to take my doctrine to your brethren. 55. I, the Father, have wept observing humanity ascend to its highest level of wickedness. Mankind has ignored my words and disregarded my laws. But the hour is approaching when man will carefully examine himself. And on that day I will pour upon him all that I have reserved for him because he is my very beloved child. 56. Those who believe in me will perceive my presence more readily than those who doubt. Many times I have summoned you, and you have not heard nor felt my presence. I only come to tell you to regenerate yourself so that your spirit will enter this time of light and grace cleansed and without stains. When you possess my seed, sow it, and convert the dry lands into fertile fields with your prayers. 57. Love one another and live in peace in your homes. For I have observed that in a family of 5, 2 are against 3 and 3 against 2. 55. I, the Father, have wept observing humanity ascend to its highest level of wickedness. Mankind has ignored my words and disregarded my laws. But the hour is approaching when man will carefully examine himself. And on that day I will pour upon him all that I have reserved for him because he is my very beloved child. 56. Those who believe in me will perceive my presence more readily than those who doubt. Many times I have summoned you, and you have not heard nor felt my presence. I only come to tell you to regenerate yourself so that your spirit will enter this time of light and grace cleansed and without stains. When you possess my seed, sow it, and convert the dry lands into fertile fields with your prayers. 57. Love one another and live in peace in your homes. For I have observed that in a family of 5, 2 are against 3 and 3 against 2. 59. I give you spiritual bread for your spirit, but you need to seek the material bread. But just as you eagerly seek physical tranquility and well-being, also seek spiritual progress. Your cross is not heavy. If I taught you to climb the hill of Calvary when I was carrying the cross of labor, suffering, and sins of all humanity, why would you not be able to climb that hill when I have given you a lighter cross? If you weaken under its weight, you have me as a helper, and I will not allow you to fall. 60. The pain which you choose to greatly avoid will only enable you to purify and renew your spirit. You yourselves have experienced that many times after a trial, you feel relieved, cleansed, and at peace with your conscience. 61. This word will offer hope to the inhabitants of those nations who today find themselves weary from suffering. But I say to you that soon, very soon, they will perceive my arms open as I was on the cross, lovingly awaiting to embrace them and to take them to my mansion of peace. My peace be with you.